Greetings, Indie Warriors, and welcome back to another episode of Indie Games That Nobody Played. My name is OldGamer Joe, and this week we have 10 more under-the-radar indie releases that you're gonna be pretty mad at yourself for not playing sooner. Here's the good news, though. You've got a shot at redemption. Get ready to add the next hidden indie gem of your dreams to that ever-growing backlog of yours. Let's grow, baby, grow. And while you're at it, why not help us grow over at patreon.com/idreamofindiegames, where you will gain Discord access to the greatest indie gaming community out there. Enjoy early ad-free shows, receive a shout-out at the end of every single video we produce, enjoy a podcast 3 days early, and so much more. Your new indie gaming community is waiting for you. Alright, before we jump into today's awesome hidden indie gems, let's shout out this week's sponsor. It's Grab the Games. Their upcoming release, Bygone Dreams, created by Prime Time, is launching May 30th on Steam PC. This action RPG brings stunning visuals, over 18 intense boss battles, 2 hours of fully voiced cutscenes, and 20 hours of thrilling gameplay right into your living room. Set in the dreamland of lore, a world teetering on destruction, you'll explore vast areas, solve challenging puzzles, and customize your playstyle with diverse weapons and difficulty options. Survive the nightmare and change your destiny. Don't miss out. Use the link in our description box below to add Bygone Dreams to your library and make your dream a reality. Once again, a very special thank you to Grab the Games. Make sure you grab Bygone Dreams this May, or else you'll be kicking yourself once again. Alright, it's on to the hidden gems. Okay, Indie Warriors, bend and touch your toes, because first on our list is Completely Stretchy, a highly unusual 3D platformer that scores major points for originality, you gotta give it that. Set across the Gromby Islands, your character undergoes a very peculiar transformation into a stretchy blue figure with a completely elastic body. Definitely a way to stand out and grab someone's attention. Jeez, if only I were able to stretch out a certain... Never mind. Now that you're essentially the equivalent of a blue Gumby, why not make the most of this unique form? Stick, swing, and climb through a variety of environments while hunting for hidden electros and completing quirky quests. Along the way, you'll discover upgrades, zip around on a hover bike, and even enjoy fun mini-games. That includes basketball, where your stretchy skills give you a clear edge. I suck at basketball, but I love playing. Unfortunately, it seems the marketing team might have stretched themselves a bit too thin, as the game only has a disappointingly low 30 reviews on Steam at the time of this video. Come on, folks, we can do better than that. If you love goofy platformers riddled with silly side objectives and plenty of laughs, Completely Stretchy deserves a spot in your indie gaming collection. Besides, if the 90s taught us anything, it's that you gotta stretch it out, caramello. Someone will get that reference. I know that raccoons love to rummage through trash, but I assure you, this game is anything but garbage. While it was only rewarded with a meager 16 reviews, slim pickings, this precision platformer deserves so much better. This is Raccoon Roller. It's a game where you survive cityscapes using your platforming skills and that trusty grapple cannon of yours. There are 40 pre-built levels to enjoy where you can aim for the gold and find hidden collectibles strewn about. Heck, once you've completed all of those levels, you can even build your own obstacle course, and the game has leaderboard support too. The few that have played it on Steam seem to really love the mechanics of the game, all the different techniques that can be mastered, and the general cute aesthetic. It's from a solo developer too, which is always an impressive feat. I certainly can't make a game, that's for sure. So, if you're looking for a skill-driven challenge, consider adding Raccoon Roller and helping a small indie developer gain some recognition. Do you have just a bit of spare change lying around by any chance? Well, maybe in your car, after buying a coffee, why not toss it towards Extra Coin? A game with just 69 nice reviews on Steam that is well worth your money and time. The setup for this game is actually really cool, as you're on a quest to find your missing parents who are trapped within a virtual world known only as the arcade. I was trapped in that place a few times growing up. The arcade is full of weird characters, literal game-breaking bugs, and it continually loops around as you take part in activities like rhythm games and even playing dice with your cat. Yes, you can pet the cat too. There are some really rad boss fights, great pixel art, ultimate moves to master, and the narrative remains pretty damn compelling throughout. It's a shame more people haven't played this title, as its exploration of human connection is both fascinating and engaging. It will only cost you $5, so toss that extra coin at, well, extra coin. It seems like a ton of gamers passed by this next release. Sorry, I just couldn't resist the pun. This is Passing By, a Tailwind Journey. Released back in March 2024, it came from Dear Villagers. If you've ever wanted to let off some steam, Bennett. Comment below if you get that reference. Then Passing By offers a hot air balloon experience like no other. The game is delightfully cozy and puts you in control of Curly, a young balloon enthusiast tasked with delivering a mysterious letter across various floating islands. It mixes several gameplay styles, including 2D puzzle platforming, a little bit of survival, and even some exploration. The West Wind mechanic adds another layer of strategy, while the artwork is incredibly charming and very pleasing to the eye, I have to say, with plenty of hidden secrets, wonderfully written dialogue, and a delightful soundtrack. Really good soundtrack. Passing By is a fantastic game for anyone seeking a cozy title to unwind with at the end of the day. Unfortunately, it only has around 20 reviews on Steam. Ugh. But a demo is available if you'd like to give it a try for yourself. See, you don't have to take my word for it. Try before you buy. It looks like with this next hidden indie gem, dreams so far haven't come true, as it only has 25 reviews, all positive mind you, on Steam. Dreamsweeper deserves so much more, as its blend of Minesweeper meets dungeon crawler gameplay is endlessly addicting. Add in a sweet, sweet lo-fi soundtrack, and you're in for one hell of a chill good time. Playing as a young girl who loves falling asleep to music, you wake up within a nightmarish landscape. The game does feature roguelike elements, so be aware of that, but it does help to keep each run fresh, and even has a bit of a rhythm element to the gameplay as well. There's a good variety of different accessories that help to change things up, and even shops to purchase new items. Add in hidden collectibles, and you have yourself a sweet dream. Not a nightmare at all! This is a really cute indie that's well worth losing a few hours of sleep for. If you love puzzle games, lo-fi soundtracks, and adorable art, dream on! Dream on! I'm not gonna go for the high note. Now that I almost exploded my vocal cords and testicles, let's move on to locally sourced Anthology 1, a space atlas. With a price tag of $14.99, you might say, this is an unknown indie release, Joe. I don't know about paying that kind of money, but you kinda sorta get 8 games here. So the deal then seems a little bit better, right? I mean, how many games exist where you can grow tea on the moon, take part in a horror simulation, try to find your way off Neptune, or even orbit Uranus? Go ahead. Do the anus joke, I know you want to. Alright, so this is very much a niche product, but it's also a very relaxing experience. Not much like this one out there. While the games themselves do have a bit of an early prototype feel to them, they all offer a zen, atmospheric experience worth exploring. With only 12 reviews, it looks like the game hasn't found any sort of significant audience, so why not do your part to shift that narrative? Of all the games on this list, Ghostboy may just be the most beautiful one, not only visually, but also in terms of its hard-hitting narrative. If you've ever struggled with grief, I certainly know I have, the themes of Ghostboy will resonate strongly. In terms of gameplay though, Ghostboy could loosely be described as a tower defense title, but it's really so much more than that. As your grief grows stronger, so do the various challenges and enemies you'll face. I never thought I'd enjoy a tower defense style game, they usually aren't my cup of tea, but the way Ghostboy mixes its gameplay with its narrative is truly remarkable. Now make no mistake, this is a heavy 10-hour gameplay experience that will demand time and mastery. However, with 12 unique towers, a branching story, and the exploration of various mental health disorders, it's an evocative indie through and through. It's a shame this incredible title has a mere 15 reviews on Steam. What? Let's fix that before this ghost vanishes entirely. If you can stomach making some tough choices, Ghostboy is just $9.99 and it easily earns that price tag. Have you taken your Quadroids today? You should probably get on that. I can't speak for the console sales on this release, but things look pretty grim on Steam with just 17 user reviews. I know that's not the only metric for sales, but it's certainly not a good sign for a really good indie. Quadroids is a puzzle platformer that mixes things up quite a bit by making players keep track of 4 different screens at a time across its over 100 levels. That might sound maddening, but I assure you, it's way more fun than you would think. Levels are full of dangerous traps, but a co-op mode can help ease at least some of the challenge. Yes, the game can be a little bit frustrating at times, especially if you aren't inherently good at multitasking, but it's an absolute blast, and the pixel art graphics, oh, so nice. It's only $12 too, so not that much of a gamble. If you like the idea of 4 chaotic screens at once, add this one to your library, or at the very least, throw it on your wish list. You know, I honestly thought the art style alone on this next hidden indie gem, Stars in the Trash, would be enough to carry it forward, but apparently it was lost in a sea of indies. Happens all too often, sadly. Don't let that deter you. Stars in the Trash is a beautiful gaming experience. If you enjoy narrative-driven games and love classic animated films, then Stars in the Trash is calling your name. It's fun to play too, with a touch of action and even a few puzzles to solve. Yes, it is a bit on the short side, but its heartwarming tale involving a cat's many misadventures calls to the animal lover in all of us. Gosh, I'm getting tears in my eyes just thinking about it. I love my little kitties. If you have a furry friend at home that you just can't get enough of, this one has your name all over it. But anyone who has an appreciation for classic animation won't be able to take their eyes off of this hidden indie gem either. The price is right too, it's just $11.99. Last on our list, you won't be hungry for hidden indie gems now, will you? This is The Hungry Fly, which released last year to little fanfare, but is highly enjoyable. I should have said little buzz, or some kind of fly pun, whatever. I'm reminded of classic PS1 games like Spider whenever I look at this title. As disgusting as this sounds, you're quite literally playing as a fly, with your goal being to eat a monster that lives far away from you. I bet you publishers were all about this idea like flies on shit. Okay, this is admittedly a pretty damn gross game, and it's short too, but playing as a fly is undeniably endearing. The offbeat art and sound design draw you further into this world, and it even has a few different possible endings to explore. If you like horror and art house games, you should swallow up this indie release like a frog going after a fly. Well, there you have it, folks, another 10 hidden gems. These are real hidden indie gems too. None of that BS where it's just a bunch of games you already knew about. Thank you so much for supporting independent content. Like, subscribe, hit up the Patreon so we can continue to bring you more of it. Voice to the voiceless. For far too long, you, the gamer, have been denied honest gaming coverage. Indie developers and publishers have lost their voice, but no longer. Like the video, subscribe to the channel, and head over to patreon.com/idreamofindiegames to join this epic campaign for indie visibility. The echo chamber trembles as our message grows louder. Voice to the voiceless.